Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Should be able to see my screen all good. 2 o'clock for me, just after 2, 9:03 for you guys in New York or America. And yeah, Friday, end of week Friday. We have had shorts on the overnight session that have been getting sold into. Just because it's the end of the week, I was doing this morning in terms of just looking at the shorts, just looking at the long sequences that we've been in. Really interesting to see that just sometimes we forget where we are on a higher time frame, myself included. But what's really interesting is I was looking at this morning, and for those who've been here for a while, we've spoken about this extension that traded back during COVID. Should be able to see on my screen. This was back during COVID, 2020 March. I'm sure you guys were around, and if you weren't, then this is basically what set up the huge draw that we've been in for the past pretty much 5 years now. So this was the halfway back. It went to its targets. We then set up, which is basically another traditional, which means we traded the 50 halfway back. Spent several months, if not a year, in here, and that has just last month completed its 62. I think I remember talking about it last month, but I don't always have my monthly extensions on. But point being is that has traded last month, October. This month we are currently creating a lower high on the month. So just really interesting to see that. And then inside of that, there was a traditional in here, which went to targets. The same Anchor high traded, again, all the way to its targets. Once the 62 traded, we came into the next draw. And again, what's really interesting, I was talking to Sam about this morning, is both of those levels have traded. Literally both of them. And this is why I've kind of got this orange caution box here for now. Because, I mean, in theory, yeah, we can continue to go higher and higher. And, that is a probability or possibility, but I think it's more likely to get what we've got now, which is obviously that pullback. And if we draw the most aggressive extension, which would be a high to high in this sequence, just from a fib point of view, so a measurement point of view, we're currently in that most aggressive draw. So I'm going to show you this one first, but then I'm also going to plot on here what would be basically the draw all the way back from 2021. And that will also come into play at some point. But for now, I'll just show you on the half an hour time frame what that one looks like. So you can see we came down to that level this morning. 142s is that level, and notice how we ATR into it, ATR reversal, and so far we are just stuck inside that range. So I'm going to put this in double thickness dashed line. Whenever you see double thickness dashed lines, they are basically just daily extensions, just to kind of give it a bit more importance to it. And again, just to reiterate, we ATR'd down into it, ATR'd out, and that was an ATR reversal, which basically means we just printed 3 ATR downs. And you can see yesterday on the open, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to start having a half an hour time frame up on my screen because we had 4 ATR bars down, which is pretty wild. Yeah, pretty wild. Quite kind of nice to know that we did have the shorts on our side, even though, again, I was running through this with Sam this morning. The trade I took yesterday, thinking I had a 100% win rate, was actually 15% win rate. So always good to know your numbers. We were probably just lucky on that trade. It worked, but yeah, probably not something I would take all the time. But that was just one of the occasions where we didn't actually close above the ETH low. So an anomaly in and of itself, but again, good to know the numbers, right? Good to know the stats on that. So probably not something I would take all the time going forward. If ever, to be honest, it'd probably be more advantageous to buy the long on the low, risking a fixed amount as opposed to actually shorting that, even knowing that I would have been stopped if I did that. But that's an anomaly, doesn't always happen all the time. Going into today, I am fully aware that we've pretty much come very close to 1.5 times on the week. So you can see here 149%. We've traded 12,000 points on the week. If you look at the weekly candle, it will show it slightly different on my table here, just because these two tables calculate it differently, taking into account the current range versus the excluding the current candle. So it's slightly off on this candle here. So the ATR, the actual color won't print until we go basically 65 points below where we are now. So depending on what table you have or look at, I would probably just pay attention to the candle colors, so you'll see if it goes 1.5 times ATR. I'm not really a huge betting man, and I would probably err on the side of caution that we don't ATR down, just simply based on we have way more candles where we don't ATR than we do, just based on that. But of course, we're 65 points away, so anything can happen. 1269 would be that level, so pretty much you'll see what that lines up with. We just zoom out, like very close to the weekly, very close to the ETH low. So, you know, we're in super super discount territory in terms of where we are from a weekly point of view. It's just, do we have, you know, big enough balls to try and take the longs down here? I have taken some longs this morning, and I'll be the first to admit I've taken some trades that I probably should not have taken. I was taking a couple trades in here where the true trend was green and the diamonds were on our side, but just completely sold into. And I would argue we didn't have any triangle momentums. I don't think. I think we may have had one actually at about midnight, but I'm not sure if that was a false print or not. But the daily is what I want to talk about. The daily with the BX at the moment. You guys know I scream about this and have screamed about this for a long time now in terms of trying to catch longs when the daily is red. It is very, very hard. Very hard. I can do it sometimes. I think I did it on Tuesday. But oftentimes I end up taking bad trades. I end up either getting a little bit of FOMO, doing stuff I wouldn't normally do, and the trades I take are never the same when I'm trading in line with the momentum. So lesson learned this morning, I came $200 away from passing my Apex 120k accounts and just took a couple stupid trades, added into one of the trades, and cut a long story short, I'm going to have to obviously get another set. So very frustrating, very annoying. It's my own stupid fault. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like Apex and me are just not meant to be. But I will give it a couple more attempts. I know it's not easy trading 20 accounts at a time just from a psychological point of view, but one of those things. So I've got that in my head as well today, knowing it is also Friday, knowing we are in huge discount, but we do have those shorts above us. So it's a very tricky one. I think what me and Sam basically just said a second ago on our Zoom call was probably going to be one of those ones where you do have room too long, but you're probably going to want to wait till that true trend starts. We've got triangle momentum here. We've got green diamonds. We've sold off huge on the overnight. We're at our daily same man canoe high, 38. Depending on where we open with the dynamic trend line, we're probably going to have potential room for a bit of a reversal to the upside. It might just be a pop that gets faded, knowing that we are still below RTH low from yesterday. We're nowhere near the high. So BX is red, you're below RTH high. What does that tell you? You're below RTH low, the BX is red, and you're in true trend to the downside. That's bearish, right? That's bearish. In all other contexts, that is completely bearish. So we have to be fully aware of that. And if I was going to score today, it would be marked as more of a bearish day than bullish. That is just what it is, right? But of course, can you get a bit of a bounce on the end of the week? Potentially. But I'm not going to be marrying any positions today. That is a fact. I think if we come down to the ETH low, there will be a trade. And me and Sam are very confident on that in terms of the stats on that. So I will have alerts. I think the indicator alerts us anyway, but just in case it doesn't, I've got an alert set there at 24,934s. I don't know if it gets traded. I said it yesterday and it ended up trading it after 350 points to the downside. I would want it to trade today just simply from a stats point of view, but again, I'm not entirely sure if it will. All I'm really going to do is try and let the market show me. Again, I've taken some trades on the overnight that I just really probably should just not have taken, and therefore I have a bit of a bias, obviously, because I was trying to go long. So that's in the back of my mind. So I just need be a little bit more patient, especially having those losses that I've already dealt with this morning. So yeah, I hope that's been useful. I'm a little bit on the erring on the side of caution, and on both sides of the market really. And I potentially am taking Monday off because we're going shopping. We're putting the dogs in doggy daycare. and we're going to go shopping for the day, me and Danny. So we're going to go on Monday, so it shouldn't really hopefully mess up too much in terms of trading, but I don't think I'm going to be getting back for the open or anything like that. So I may just take Monday off. So yeah, we'll see what we get today, but if it's just a slow day, it's a slow day. Then I'll be back on Tuesday with my 5 take profit accounts as well. They'll be back. They'll be all loaded again to trade those. So yeah, hopefully that's been useful. If there's any questions, let me know. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything to go through. We've got no real news coming out because of the government shutdown, as far as I'm aware. Let me know if that's different, but I can't see anything online that says any different. So we just have to wait until things change. But for now, they won't be NFP, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, just be aware of that. And other than that, guys, we will see you in the trading room on Whoop. And yeah.